Hi, this is Tom, the Father's Workshop Screen Printing. And I want to bring just a small tutorial, however you want to say it. Anyways, I want to bring this to you concerning something that's been going on with an idea to make your own cheaper your polyester spray so you can sublimate on cotton. A lot of people are using this. Okay? I'm not really trying to advertise for anybody. I don't get paid for this. But a lot of people are using the polycrylic. Now, I got both of these. I got both the spray and this. And no, I did not get it to mix to find a substitute for using poly T spray and all that stuff. I didn't do that because, first of all, when you start using a commercial polyurethane, when you start using the commercial stuff and start putting it bothers me when I see it put in water and then all of a sudden shaken up and then put on material and then sold to customers that probably wouldn't agree with the way you did it. They just like the way it looks at first, and then the results later on may not be exactly what they're supposed to be. Now, I want to emphasize what I did is I looked online concerning how this is made, and being that this is a urethane, it's made up differently than polyurethane. This is, being that this is a water-based, if you'll notice it already says it's water-based. Right there, it says water-based. And being water-based, it's different than the polyurethane that you would use to coat other stuff. The polyurethane and this is different in the fact that this polycrylic does not have the oil in it. It's not as durable. It's water-based and all that to bring the odors down. So when you're using it on the inside, this is not made to use on the outside. Because you'll notice you have an interior and exterior usage and on different paints and urethanes and stains and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that what you get is an exterior if you're going to be putting something outside. Now you say, why? Now this is to be used on the inside. You'll find that polyurethanes, and these urethanes here, water-based, it doesn't have any ultraviolet protection in it. So as the sun hits it, it breaks down. It fades and it does things like that. Now I noticed that, and that's in this, your regular polyurethane, oil-based, you can use it outside. It's got the UV protectant in it. It keeps it from breaking down. It's better. I mean, when you're talking about heat, you know how it gets hot outside and the sun hits it all the time. It gets really hot and all that. Your regular polyurethane that has the oil-based stuff like that, that's made for exterior. That's why they're made for outside. They're made for exterior to combat the elements that are outside. They make stuff like this to use on the inside in a non-heavily trafficked area. You know, a place to where it's off to the side. It's, you know, maybe a kid's play table. Could be just something that's not really in a lot of traffic, even on the floors and stuff. It's a low odor. I mean, it's almost no odor, but they make it like this, and people love to use this in the house when they're doing decoration, remodeling, and things like that. Now we've taken this commercial thing, and now I notice it on YouTube. It's being put out there and being put in water. It's already water-based. It's already in water. It's already a water-based. But now you're diluting it a little bit more so you can spray it in t-shirts. All right, now what I said just a few minutes ago, we have to understand. Now I know I've seen the videos, I haven't seen them all, but I've seen them to where some have applied this, they put it on there after they've mixed it, and they come out with good results. I mean, a nice, pretty picture and all that stuff. And then when they wash it, it fades. It doesn't fade as much. But you gotta remember this now. What are the elements on the outside? This does not have UV protection and everything in it, so it's not made for outside. Now, what are the elements on the outside that would probably combat against this? Even if you put it on a piece of wood and sublimate on that, or if you put it on something else, because you can coat other things and sublimate on it. Get you some tiles, ceramic tiles, things like that, and you coat it, let it dry, normally just a regular drying process. And even things like this. Now, this is a little ceramic bracelet. I had been given a bunch of these, and I wondered, well, how can I sublimate on these and make these pretty and something that I could sell? Well, I coated it with the spray. And this isn't the one that I did, but I mean, I sprayed this one, but I had another one I sprayed, and I quickly just put it in my sublimation cup press, and I did the ring like that, and it took very well. Now, these had already dried, had their drying process, and it worked well. It worked very well. So the polycrylic works good on solid substrates and stuff like that, you know, things that are like wood and ceramic tiles, or maybe anything else you can think of that you could spray that on that it'll stick to, or even take a paintbrush and paint it on and stick it to it. But you have to let it dry. It's got to go through its drying process. But if I take this and put it outside in the UV rays and everything, it's not going to hold up as well because it's on the outside elements. The shirts that have been done may come out after a wash a little faded. Some of them I've saw a lot faded, and then some just maybe a little, and then washed another time and it has just a little bit of fading. But those are shirts that have gone straight into the washing machine and haven't been really exposed to the outside UV rays and everything. So you figure the more that you wear this, because you want everybody to see your shirt, you want them to look at it and all that stuff, and you're outside around everybody, and you want them to see this. So the sunlight is hitting it, the heat is hitting it, and this stuff is not made for excessive heat. It's not made for the UV rays. It wasn't made that way. So the next time you go to wash it, you're going to notice, man, this thing faded a little bit more. Now, if you're making these and you're not washing them, doing a wash, and then you're sending them out to people who are customers, and they get them, and then they do the first wash and see the fading, and then they wear them for a while, and then they see just, man, I'd be real careful. Look, I am not a scientist, but I have read the facts about the difference between the polycrylic and the polyurethane, and the differences between them. And from what I have seen, the thing that I would not do is I would not use this in more water to dilute it more, so I could spray it into a shirt to take the place of something like this. Now, once again, I'm not getting paid to. This is just an example. I'm sure that these were specially made for fabric. They were specially made for this type of resin to get into the fabric, to the materials. And there was another one that was made over there, right here. Was another one that was made right here that says desizer. Now that was when Dye Press had both the desizer and the poly spray separate. Now they have the Poly T Plus, which has got both of them together. Once again, there goes a plug for Dye Press. But I don't mind doing that for the simple cause is that there was a science that went behind this. We always try to find shortcuts. But is it really What happens if your customer is allergic to this? What happens if you sell this to a customer, you sell your shirt to a customer that you use this? You can't go back and sue these people who made this because they put the instructions on the back on what it's used for. You decided to use it for something else. Now, if you want to do that and you want to make your own shirts and keep them for yourself, that's fine. But think about your customer. Your customer deserves far better than that. If you're going to have customers, think past the dollar bill. Think towards who you might hurt in the process. And in the long run, it's going to hurt you, the seller, the one who's actually trying to design their own clothing line. So I took it upon myself to make this short video. I may not make friends this way, but I want to be your friend in a sense to say, look, if you're doing this, be very careful. If you're going to use it for yourself, that's fine. But remember, you have customers. If they're allergic to this, if their skin irritations and things like that come from wearing one of your shirts because you used something that was not tested, and I know you're testing it, which I think there was a whole lot more testing and everything put behind this, behind these sprays than the one that you're making up. And so what I would suggest you do is go ahead and what should I say? Do what your gut tells you. All right. And this particular polycrylic is a great thing for sublimation. Not on shirts, but it's great if you're going to be using it on other substrates. I mean, like get some ceramic tiles. You ever seen those pretty little square and different ceramic tiles? You can take and put this on it, and then you can get you a picture, a family picture or something, and then sublimate it onto that. Of course, you got to let this dry. This has a drying period. Don't try to dry it faster by putting it under the heat press. It ain't gonna work that way. Do it like it's the instructions say. You know, that's like when you buy this. They send a set of instructions so you can read it and go by what they said. Therefore, if what you're doing and you're doing it like they say and you come out with failure, you can complain to them. Your customers will complain to you, but you can complain to them, and then you can apologize to your customers and say, look, I'm sorry, I trusted that it worked and all that, and we've been having good results, but this particular time you weren't happy with it, and we apologize. But if you start mixing this stuff up, you're going to say to your customer, I went into my laboratory, and in my laboratory I mixed up this great resin. And this resin is going to take care of all your troubles. Your shirts will be beautiful. I'll make them surely beautiful with the resin. I said it correctly, didn't I? I will make it from here. This is what probably your husband uses when he seals things outside. Well, I wouldn't even say outside because it's not even good for outside, so it must be stuff that would be inside that could not be touched. No. So as you go through all of that, sorry for the melodramatics, but it just drives me crazy. And I see everybody, and it's starting to become a big fad. And I don't see any repercussions, because if there is, nobody's going to report it. But personally, if you're thinking about using that stuff, this is $17 and something at Lowe's. I think about anywhere you buy it, I think there's a minimum advertised price that they're allowed to sell this at. The company says that they will not sell it any lower than that. So they have a price, and so all your dealers and stuff will actually sell it at that price. So about $17 and some change is what it costs. And then for the little spray bottle and stuff that you'll buy to use that with, and then believe me, your spray bottle is not going to last long by the time you start using that and it dries out. because that stuff will start clotting up and stuff inside there and getting hard, because that's what that stuff does. That stuff gets hard. It puts on a hard coating on the outside, a nice glossy coating, like a polyurethane. You ever, you get something and you want to coat it, and it gets that nice little gloss on it? That's all that is. It's a polyurethane. It's a urethane that is water-based, not oil-based. It's used for interior, not exterior. So that's all that is. And it's not made for shirts. It is not made for shirts. The way the other stuff's made for shirts is it actually gets in on the fabric, in the fibers, and creates that polyester, makeup to where when you start to sublimate, you've got something on the material that is like polyester. And so therefore, your sublimation works. And it's been tested. I assume it has. But any of those sprays. And so you got to consider the fact, is it harmful to the skin? Things like that. So, in my opinion, as the tester, as the one that is giving a little advice on this is great stuff. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with this stuff if you use it correctly. So, this is Tom with the Father's Workshop Screen Printing, and wanting to bring to you some safe facts about how to sublimate and do your t-shirts and things like that, because if there's one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to cause any bad health effects and stuff like that with those particular type of ingredients that are in this. So, anyways, think about it. In the meantime, hey, we love y'all out there. We really do. And if this has been helpful to you, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. I did my best. But I have done some research on this and finding that it's not a good idea for you to do that. So, anyways, y'all have a wonderful day. Have a great printing day and a great making up whatever you're making up in your little workshops. That's what it's all about, getting out there and have some fun. And like I've always said, I don't know it all, but you know what? Let's learn together. This is Tom with the Father's Workshop Screen Printing. And until next time, me.